Welcome back to another wild tale, and today we are playing as one of the most powerful apex predators on the Isle. But even the most powerful predators are vulnerable when they start, and this one is no exception. Once this croc's fully grown, it will weigh around 8 tons, meaning there's not much that can get in its way. In fact, most creatures will actively avoid getting in its way. But right now, we are fragile. We're a tiny little lizard. So at this stage in my life, everything is a threat, especially other crocodiles. You see, crocodiles are on a crocodile's menu, and so it's fair game. I have to be very vigilant in checking all these passageways in the swamp. It's like a maze, they just go on forever. But I have to be so careful, I have to keep my eyes under the water, as well as above. Now, as quiet as swamps were, I actually saw something quite early, but I didn't get there quick enough, so it got to shore. But I feel like I probably could have taken it, it looked quite small. So just the same as when we start any dinosaur, my first mission was to find some food. However, it does seem, unlike other dinosaurs, your food drains a little slower when you're young as a croc, which is quite handy, especially when in the swamp. Also, I just want to take a moment to thank everyone for the amazing support over the last few videos. Remember, if you enjoy these tales, hit like and subscribe, there'll be plenty more. Now, I was having a hard time finding any food in swamp. I hadn't found a single fish, and I'd only seen that one dinosaur swimming, so it was time to move over to the main river. Now, a crocodile on land is a very vulnerable crocodile. I don't want to see anything, because anything will try to kill me, because nothing wants me to get big. Or they're hungry and they want to eat. Okay, so I've made it into the big pond that connects to the main river. This is where things will get a little scarier. Other crocs will be patrolling these waters. Again, more land obstacles makes this a bit more dangerous. Visibility is also getting low, which makes a little bit harder to see other crocs coming, so I think I need to find somewhere to just chill out until it's a little lighter. After feeding on some small fish in the river, I noticed this significantly larger fish that I really wanted, as this would give me lines on my diet. However, as I was trying to kill it, I heard splashing on the other side of the river. It was another croc, and he was much bigger than me. At this point, I just need to wait here. I'm not going to make any splashes or any sounds. I'm just going to wait. And that's what I did. I waited. And then I decided to see if he was friendly. If he responds, I was probably okay. Yeah, we got a response. A hi is usually a good sign. I might just confirm. I might just ask if he is friendly. Or I don't know if he'd tell me if he wasn't. Thankfully, this guy, he was friendly. I didn't have anything to worry about. And so with that, I decided to slink back into the water and carry on trying to hunt. I will say, a friendly croc is hard to come by these days, actually. And I don't even blame them. A croc is on a croc's menu. but a friendly croc is a very welcome sight indeed. If I was going to survive this run, I would have to put my friendliness aside at times. I was going to have to become a croc hunter myself, and that was something I was struggling with. I'm going to have to get nasty. I'm going to have to start killing some. I have to put my friendliness aside. We're going to have to kill some crocodiles if we're going to survive this. Now, I was following the scent of some meat that was on land, but I think it was a bit too far inland, and I didn't want to take the risk in case there's like a harrow in the trees going to pounce on me. I decided to give it up and go back to the water. I wasn't starving at this point. Now, as you can see, I've gone back to swamp. This is to see if I can catch out maybe any fresh spawned crocodiles, and maybe some food has popped up since I was last here. But visually, this is my favourite biome, and it's a real shame to see it so quiet. I really like being here. Now then, is anybody around Sanctuary? Now, as it turns out, there were people around Sanctuary, but it wasn't the size of dinosaur I was looking for. I'm actually a little bit curious. I want to see if there's anyone else around here, because maybe he's hunting something. Now, when I got back in the water, I made a splash, and this didn't go unnoticed. I have to be very careful not to go too close to shore. He will wade in. I just know he will. It's a Cerato. Turns out this Cerato wasn't alone. There was a raptor not too far behind him. I mean, I'm almost definitely too small, but we'll give it a go. Okay, we got a bite on him. We made him bleed. We left some toothy marks. Now, shortly after I left Sanctuary, I heard some splashing in the water. Sounds like someone's having a swim. I was biding my time, waiting for them to get a little closer. Now, unfortunately, it was too shallow. It was too shallow for me, and it was shallow enough for him to be able to run. And so he could jump, run, and I couldn't swim fast enough. But that was my first hunt, and despite its failure, I was learning. It's time to go back to the river, I think. There is definitely something. Yeah, there's something here. There's something in the bushes. There was definitely something in the bushes. It was a Maya. And I think he knew I was here. He could hear my steps. I was going to have to be very quiet. If he knew where I was 100% dead. Way too close. Way too close. Just need to keep going. I think he's coming back. I don't think he knows. I don't think he knows where I am. I'm gonna keep going. Now, I wouldn't make it far before I saw someone else. Hello? Neither of us knew the other one was there. Ah, damn it. I don't even think I hit him. That was a very random encounter. I don't think he knew I was there. I didn't even know he was coming. And so it was back to the river again. The swamps proving fruitless once more. It is time to try and find some more fishies. Our stomach is in a bad way. As the sun set on another day of successful hunting, I started making my way up the river when I noticed something in the water ahead. That's a really big croc. That's a big crocodile. It's time to hide. I need to get out of the water. If this crocodile had seen me, he's faster than me, stronger than me, and I had to hope that he didn't see where I went. Otherwise it was probably game over. Thankfully, he just sailed on past. I don't think he ever even saw me. It was a close call and a reminder as to why you always keep your eyes below the water as well as above. I think it's time to do some growing. It was a new day, and I was feeling a little bit braver, and so I pushed a little bit further up the rivers just to see what I could find. As I get a bit bigger, I'm definitely feeling a little bit more confident looking for other smaller crocs, but I still gotta be careful for the big boys. Now, my target in this life was to catch one animal drinking. I just wanted to experience that exhilarating thrill of grabbing someone from the shore and bringing them into the water. This big fishy will help with my growth. After a bit more fishing, it was back to the safety of my secluded pond. However, after coming out, I spotted my first croc. I'm so sorry, you're on my diet. I need to eat crocs, I'm sorry. And this one came with a free fish. So I had caught my first crocodile. And I don't know if I want to say it, but it felt kind of good. Maybe I have what it takes to be a crocodile killer. Fresh off the success of that last kill, I decided to wait at this choke point for other crocodiles to go around the logs and enter the water. Now, we didn't have to wait long before we had our first taker. I see you. However, this crocodile, he was switched on, and he noticed me pretty quick and disappeared over the grass, and there wasn't really much chance of me catching this guy. Yep, he's gone. He's out of here. I noticed I was starting to get a bit chunkier. I was feeling pretty good. I just still needed to catch something on land. It was important to remember though, we were still only maybe 30-40% grown. And there was crocodiles out there at 100% that would eat me in one bite. And so with that, I took back to the rivers, venturing even further up the delta, and catching plenty of fish in the shallows. There's a lot of fishies here. This is good. We filled up our lines. Good growth rate. We like it. Alright, it's back to home turf to do some more growing. This pond has been my home actually for quite a long time, and I don't think I've seen another crocodile here. We were getting bigger, and I was going to go back to the choke point to see if I could catch any more crocodiles making the crossing. Now unfortunately, there was nothing. And I headed back all the way up the river, my stomach now empty, desperately needing food. Suddenly, I was on the brink of starvation. Now, I have absolutely no idea how this got here, why no one else had had it, but there was a Deino body just on the bottom of the riverbed. And so I very quickly grabbed it and took it to shore, and it gave me a nice amount of food. Not long after, a couple of raptors tried to cross the river. However, I hadn't refined my hunting skills, and these guys were slippery enough to get away. It was back to the water again. And that's when I noticed a smaller croc basking in the sun. We need to try and get the drop on this guy, but I'm making so much noise. I'm too heavy now, I make big splashes. This was one of the bigger crocs I had caught for a while, and it would give me a good amount of food. I don't take pleasure, as much as it sounds like it, I don't take pleasure in killing other crocs. I do it because I need to. Sorry buddy, you provide me with the nutrients, I need to get bigger. I need to catch a land animal. I decided to leave the river and try a nearby pond to see if I could catch any unsuspecting drinkers. Using the cover of night, I could cross without being seen. I'm not here for frogs. I don't really want to give myself away. Thing is, the problem is these guys know a safe drinking spot behind those rocks, and there's not really anything I can do. It's like the perfect little drinking spot. It's just sort of barricaded in on all angles. Now I had to make a decision. Food was becoming a bit of a problem. My belly was getting low, and these guys were going to stop me from leaving. And so as soon as they left, I made my move. I need to get back to the main river, or I'm just going to starve in this pond. We are far from in the clear. We need something to eat. Unfortunately for this croc, he forgot the first rule, and he had no idea what was coming from below. Sorry man, I got a low belly. You should have been looking. The little lizards are out in swarms today. I was starting to get hungry again. These small crocodiles just weren't filling me up. And that's when I heard a group of tennos just chilling on the riverbanks and decided to explore the waterways a bit more. You see, the dilemma I've got here is, how long do I wait? Ooh. Now, it wasn't what I was expecting, but it seemed like another croc had the same idea as me. And at this point, food's food. It was the wrong place at the wrong time for you, my friend. Very sorry, once again. I'm on red and I need to eat. This croc life is tough. You just can't get enough food going. And there's nobody drinking on the shores. And that's when my first major opportunity would arise. Oh my god, I nearly just fell for my own rule. He could have killed me. This tenno was going for some food very close to the water. How is that not a kill? I've taken a chunk out of his tail. That tenno's going to die of infection. In reality, he has no tail left. Hunting on land was proving a lot more difficult than I thought, and opportunities were thin. I can sniff some S's. Looks like we're going back to the pond. I'm getting chonky. This is good. A lot less people are going to be willing to fight now. Although, what good is a chonky crocodile if it's a dead crocodile? Because I need food. I think this is a frog. I think I've come all this way for a frog. Don't tell me this is how it ends. After all this. But I wasn't alone in that pond. It's him. He set the trap, I think. I think he's left the frog on the side. And so the chase was on. I had to catch this guy. This was probably my last opportunity for some food. Sooner or later we were both going to be out of stamina. And then it was just down to who was faster, which in this case was me. He did try begging for his life, but at this point I had no choice. I'm sorry, but I'm hungry. I honestly feel sorry for the guy. I know what it feels like. I really don't like doing this, but I have to. Also, remember this moment, because I will find myself in this man's shoes at some point in this life. But unfortunately for this guy, he'd brought about his own demise. If I hadn't have smelt that frog, I wouldn't have been over here. It was time for the final piece in the puzzle. I was going to get the saltwater mutation and head to one of the most dangerous places on the Isle. But first along the way, I'm going to stop at some beaches and grab some light snacks. It turns out I wasn't the only one with the same idea. I just love that I'm so big now that these guys are just like, yeah, take as many turtles as you like. They're not even going to try. They're not going to try anything because why would they? Look at the size of me. And so we had a mutual respect. I would take the turtles I need, and I'd let them take the turtles they need. I'll be taking this one, thank you very much. And with that, I carried on to the next beach, where there were even more inhabitants. Yep, stay back. This is my turtle, thank you. One by one, there just seemed to be a whole network of herrers in the area. You're not seriously going to try it, are you? This won't end well for you. And as it turns out, I wasn't going to be their only problem. Whilst they were focused on me, they didn't see another danger right underneath their nose. Okay, and if that's all, I'll be taking my turtle and I'll be on my way. Man, this actually looks beautiful out here. Eventually we had crossed the ocean, and now we had another land crossing to get to a small pond before we make our final trip to the South Plains River. Okay, off we go. This has to be it. I have to grab something at South Plains. Before I get too carried away, I have to remember that there's a lot of land between me and South Plains. And South Plains is notoriously dangerous for its large amount of carnivores. Okay, we need to think about how we get up. And the final short leg of the trip had begun. I was making my way into the South Plains River. My new home sweet home. Hopefully we are provided with more opportunities here. And oh, I couldn't be more right. In fact, I was only here for a matter of seconds before my first opportunity arisen. We've got in! We've got our first land kill! Sorry, Dibbly Woo, you're mine. And you're coming with me into the depths. And after a long life of starvation, trials and tribulations, we have finally caught our first meal. At least a meal that's not a crocodile, anyway. I shall enjoy every one of your organs. But this is the Isle, and just as quickly as I had had success, trouble was already around the corner. We go onwards and upwards from here. There's a croc. There's a croc. Fight. Oh, there's another croc. Oh, there's another croc. Outnumbered, outgunned. I knew my time was up. I just wanted to see if I could try and take one of them with me. And I want to go down fighting. And that was that. Those two crocs had written the final sentence in the final chapter of this croc's life. If you've enjoyed this tale, please remember to like and subscribe, and stay tuned for more wild tales.